I would request Mr. Ashfaq Gondal, former Federal Secretary of Information and Broadcasting. He retired as a Federal Secretary of Government of Pakistan. He served in the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Mr. Ashfaq Gondal remained Chairman, Pakistan Television Corporation, Pakistan Broadcasting Corporation, and Director General Radio Pakistan. He also remained Principal Information Officer to the Government of Pakistan. Moreover, he also had the honor of holding key role position as the Press Secretary to the Prime Minister of Pakistan and Press Counselor, Pakistan High Commission to India, New Delhi. The topic of his speech is Analyze the Geopolitical Impact of the Belt and Road Initiative on the participating countries and the broader international community. Sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nasalli ala rasulihil kareem. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Honorable people sitting on the stage and honorable students and teachers sitting right in front of me. Well, I don't know Khalid Sahab is a student or not, and similarly Raja Muksat is a student or not, but for that matter, since you are sitting in front of me along with the students, so I'll call you students as well. Well, everybody is a student, even if we take it in a broader term. The whole life is spent learning. When you stop learning, it is the end. So, thank you very much, young and sweet lady, for introducing me as a former Secretary, Governor of Pakistan. It was an honor for me to serve the Government of Pakistan in different capacities for about 35 years. It's a long time. Maybe some of you are much younger than that. So the topic given to me today is BRI, analyzing BRI, its impact, its significance for Pakistan. Since it's a technical subject, so I will rather read it out, and maybe I'll be open for questions if it is obligatory. And even if it is not obligatory, I'll be pleased to answer any questions on not only on this issue, but the overall media issues within Pakistan and Pakistan's relation with other countries vis-a-vis media, etc. So first of all, let's see, what is BRI? Everybody talks of BRI and everybody talks of CPEC. And some people say, CPEC pe to kaam ruk gaya ji, falan government mein ruk gaya, falan government mein chal pada. Ab, ye cheezein jo hoti hain, these are in fact between the countries, not specific to any government in fact. And China is a country which deals with a country, taking into cognizance of the importance, geopolitical situation of the countries and its own national interest as well. So what is BRI? The 21st century has evolved interstate relations in a manner that has brought focus to development of regional and global strategic environment across the world. This strategic focus encourages the formation of bilateral partnerships among countries for the benefit of global economies and protection of mutual interest. Such partnerships have ground roots in prosperity of the state interest and strengthening of national security. As the dynamics of global partnership evolve, China has emerged as a pioneer in extending strategic partnership and while consolidating capacities for its own interest as well. China is playing a key role, not only in the Asian region, but the entire world. The Chinese president long ago explained his country's good neighborly policies as part of a new strategy of peaceful development which China sought to promote as an independent rather than competitive relationship with its neighboring countries and the world. South Asia as a regional bloc is one of the least economically integrated region of the world. South Asian Association, that is SAARC, has achieved very little if we compare it with the other regional and global blocs like ASEAN, EU, and NAFTA. Pakistan economy has suffered on account of its lack of integration with other regional economies. In order to grow at a pace which ensures reasonable income level for its citizens and much needed improvement in its low human development indices, Pakistan needs to focus on achieving higher level of integration with other economies and a fiscal stimulus which ensures higher spending in energy, infrastructure to boost its GDP. Given the tight budgetary constraints and fiscal deficit, this stimulus cannot be provided by domestic resources alone. Under the circumstances, China's One Belt, One Road, also called BRI, initiative provides an excellent opportunities for increasing integration of Pakistan's economy with other regional economies. What is BRI? And what is its significance for Pakistan? One of the components of BRI is CPEC, which will incorporate 2,000 kilometers transport link between Kashgar and Pakistan's Gwadar port on the Arabian Sea. The following three routes were originally identified for the CPEC. Western route originating from Gwadar will pass through Turbat, Panjgur, Nag, Basima, Sohrab, Kalat, Quetta, Kila Saifullah, Zob, D.I. Khan, Mianwali, Hassan Abdal, and Islamabad. Central route will originate from Gwadar, Quetta, and reach D.I. Khan via Basima, Khuzdar, Sakhar, Rajanpur, Layya, Muzaffargarh, Bakkar, and D.I. Khan. Eastern route will include Gwadar, Basima, Khuzdar, Sakhar, Rahimyar Khan, Bahawalpur, Multan, Lahore, Faisalabad, Islamabad, and Mansehra. The project was at the start expected to bring investment inflows of about $46 billion in the first phase to ensure that the corridor would become operative by 2020 through aggressive expenditure on energy generation and infrastructure development. Onset of COVID, coupled with fast evolving political scenarios, have hindered the pace of progress in CPEC. For the sake of record, it is mentioned that MOU on undertaking CPEC was inked on 5th July 2013 during the visit of Prime Minister of Pakistan to China, but actual formalization of CPEC was carried out in April 2015 during the Chinese President's visit to Pakistan, when both countries signed 51 agreements and memoranda of understanding on Chinese investment to the tune of $46 billion, later exceeded $51.5 billion to be undertaken over the next 10 to 15 years. Overall development of Gwadar port, building up transport infrastructure, establishing energy projects, and industrial cooperation are the key areas which CPEC targets. A healthy sum of rupees $35 billion was earmarked for energy sector as a key element of CPEC. CPEC is also focusing on health and education program beside development of agriculture. It is important to mention that CPEC, as a flagship project of BRI, has resulted in substantial direct investment of rupees $25.4 billion in Pakistan, besides creating 236,000 jobs opportunities. Gwadar, which is the main component of CPEC. First and foremost, the successful development of Gwadar Port has helped in undertaking new economic prospects. The port is fully operational, actively managing cargo vessels, including facilitating transshipment trade of Afghanistan. Moreover, a thriving economic free zone now stands, offering enticing incentives for both local and international investors, particularly those from China and the other parts of the world. Energy. Under CPEC, 21 energy projects have been undertaken. Majority of these have been functional, status transport infrastructure. Similarly, 24 projects have been undertaken in the realm of transport infrastructure, completed as well at different stages of the progress. Socio-economic development. 27 socio-economic projects are envisaged under CPEC, of which 5 have been completed. They are vaccine storage, transportation equipment, poverty alleviation training, emergency relief supplies for enhancing NDMA, disaster preparedness capacity, Pakistan vocational and technical education capacity, build-up projects and Pakistan's vocational schools equipment upgrading, renovation projects. Special economic zones. Likewise, CPEC aims to build 9 special economic zones, the popularly known as Rashakai Special Economic Zone, Allama Iqbal Industrial City, Dhabeji Special Economic Zone, and Bostan Special Economic Zone. In Pakistan, the Ministry of Planning and Development is entrusted with the task of overall CPEC-related activities and coordinate working on different projects, while NDRC, National Development Reforms Commission, is its counterpart in China. Both countries have established a joint cooperation committee with working group to focus on different areas. As of December 2023, the number of participating countries, according to different sources, stand at 149. Occasionally also referred to as New Silk Road, it is considered an all-encompassing set of Chinese infrastructure projects. It is also compared to the once world-famous American Marshall Plan, which aimed at enhancing capitalist influence on countries around the world, which was fast being impacted by socialist ideology. BRI was unveiled in 2013 by Chinese President Xi Jinping. It was meant to engage and link East Asia and Europe through physical infrastructure. During the last 10 years, BRI has further spread its outreach to cover Africa, Oceania, and Latin America, thereby expanding China's economic and political influence. BRI clearly manifests China's strength as an economic power as well as a hub of economic power. China views BRI as a source of inspiration for participating countries to seek economic well-being of their teeming millions, with China serving as the fountainhead. Ever since its inception, BRI has promoted economic integration, linked development programs, and delivered benefits to all. It has laid down a pathway towards mutual benefit, win-win outcome, prosperity, and development in an era where a large number of countries are experiencing deep-rooted political turmoil. The BRI mainly focuses on development which arises above mere political affiliation and serves the common interest of all countries. From 2013 to 2022, BRI has seen the total value of China's trade in goods and key partner countries rising at an average annual rate of 8.6% and two-way investment exceeding 270 billion US dollars. Newly signed contracts of projects are worth over $1.2 trillion, and an array of infrastructure projects, including roads, bridges, and ports, have come into commission, further promoting land, maritime, air, and cyberspace connectivity. Under the Belt and Road Cooperation, over the past 10 years, overseas cooperative industrial parks, including Thailand, China, Rayong Industrial Zone, Ethiopia's Eastern Industry Zone, have flourished, serving as a catalyst for local industrialization and modernization. The World Bank estimates that by 2030, BRI cooperation will yield an annual benefit of $1.6 trillion to the world, accounting for 1.3% of the global GDP and injecting strong impetus into global development. Improving people's livelihood has become another distinctive feature of BRI. Over the past 10 years, BRI has helped lift nearly 40 million people out of poverty and created path towards opportunity and prosperity for the local people. A large number of small yet smart livelihood programs such as schools, hospitals, stadia have been put in place one after the other, and more people are living a better life with greater sense of happiness and benefit. China-Europe Railway Express completed over 15,000 freight services, serving as a health train, delivering medical supplies during the COVID. In January 2023, China aided Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention headquarters, the first CDC in Africa, featuring modern office facilities and high-end laboratories, was successfully handed over. Facing the global food crisis, China and its BRI partners have been actively engaged in agriculture cooperation and popularized hybrid rice and other practical technologies, making positive contribution to ensure food supply for the local people. The United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development is now encountering difficulties. Its implementation and development gap keeps widening. Countries around the world have a stronger inspiration for development and cooperation. Many developing countries have seized the momentum of BRI and got on board the express train of China's development. As we accelerate the development of health, Silk Road, the digital Silk Road, the green Silk Road, and the Silk Road of innovation, more opportunities for cooperation will be created. This will open up broader prospects for industrial upgrading, energy transformation, and innovative development in those countries. Talent is the most important asset that secures a bright future. Under the framework of Belt and Road Cooperation, China has vigorously carried out relevant talent exchange place vocational workshops in more than 20 countries to provide vocational and technical training for the local young people, boosting the internal growth drivers of relevant countries. Well, we'll discuss some negatives now. China's BRI initiative and its role as an international financier in underdeveloped and developing countries has been criticized on the premise that it has been entangling these economies in a debt trap. The term surfaced in 2017 to describe a deal when China won a 99-year lease for the Hambantota port in Sri Lanka, which this small South Asian state could not keep up with the debt payment schedule. This term was since been applied by Western economies to projects under the Belt and Road initiatives. Western media and senior policy officials seem to feel that China is using BRI to exert undue influence over the world, especially because the initiative mostly funds infrastructure rather than the social sector projects, such as health, education initiatives that are often favored by large multilateral donors and Western nations. Critics worry that China will be able to seize control of these assets for military use or use them as a leverage in future negotiations. There has also been criticism that China BRI mainly focuses on infrastructure projects and its attention on social sector program is minimal. This is unlike Western countries and international institutions like UN, which accord priority to the social sector development projects like health and education. Experts believe that China's socialist marketing policy principles restrain private enterprise that strive to follow their own course of action, maintaining autonomy. The private concerns keep in view and accord priority to their own commercial and business interest, ensuring or trying to ensure their independence. So a continuous conflict of interest, or should one say, some degree of conflict of policy matters, has existed ever since BRI projects were launched. Towards 2017, Chinese government removed the condition of prior approval by the State Council, Ministry of Commerce, for Chinese companies to engage in projects with foreign firms. There has been a feeling that by doing so, the element of quality control and proper oversight maybe has been sacrificed, even though this led to spike in foreign contracted projects. Under the initial zeal and fervor, as well as passion for gaining goodwill, Chinese companies committed to large number of projects. Chinese banks companies also issued loans in large volumes. Later, there has been instances of debt restructuring deals, wastage of time in completion of different projects. Chinese side blamed COVID-19. In certain cases, projects were left incomplete. For example, railway project in Kenya. There has been visible lack of planning by BRI in different projects as to how these will be beneficial for the future economic growth and how these will be, BRI mechanism perhaps did not take into account this factor. Well, I skip a few paragraphs because I have been told that they have shortage of time. So by just giving my end note, that is, by the year 2024, may see further growth of Chinese BRI engagements with a strong focus on BRI country partnerships in renewable energy, mining, and related technologies. Potential future engagements can be expected in 6 project type: manufacturing in new technologies, that is batteries, renewable energy, trade enabling infrastructure, including pipeline and roads, ICT, for example, data centers, resource-backed deals, that is mining, oil and gas, high visibility or strategic projects like railways. Thank you very much, sir. Since I was told Since I was told that the time allocated is 15 minutes, so I have not yet completed those 15 minutes. But still, since I have been asked to complete it, so thank you very much for being so patient, listeners, and I hope some of you must have maybe learned much more about BRI. Thank you very much.